Brands on Brands.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This week, we're talking about your brand positioning statement, how to write one for your business. Check it out.
In a world where content is king and your reputation is your brand, how do you build a brand that matters? Welcome to Brands on Brands, a home for those that think different and push their boundaries. This is where branding that matters lives. Now, here is your host, Brandon Birkmeyer.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Brands on Brands. I'm Brandon Birkmeyer, your personal branding coach, and I believe that building a brand that matters is the only way for a business to thrive tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in each week. And this week is another solo episode for you where we're talking about your brand positioning statement. But if this is your first time listening to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button, but also go to brandsonbrands.com/resources to get all of our downloadable freebies. There's a lot of resources there, one of which is your way to take 1 hour of content and convert it into 1 month of content. Things like that right there for you on the resources page. Go ahead and check them out. And now we'll jump into the show.
Brands on Brands.
How do we build our brand positioning statement? This is what we're talking about today. Why is this important? Well, your brand positioning statement is your way to tell the world what it is about you and your brand and your business that is different and that is special about your company. And the reason the audience, the reason your customers needs to know why your business is special is because they need to know how to choose what's for them. They need to know, should they pick your business or the competition? And those choices are not easy because a lot of businesses start to sound the same. A lot of companies start to sound the same. A lot of people start to sound the same. So when you're out there choosing a product, how do you know what's different, right? It's a lot like walking through a grocery store and imagine you go down the condiments aisle and you're looking for ketchups and mustards. And imagine none of those had labels. Imagine all you saw were red and yellow bottles, right, of mustard and ketchup. How would you know what to pick? If there was not any type of branding and you didn't hear any of their messaging that explained to you what it was about those ketchups that made them right for you, you wouldn't know what to pick. The only thing you could do was go ahead, take a risk and buy one, taste it, see if you liked it, and then go back and buy a different one. You'd have to keep on trying things until they fit for you. We have the advantage as people who are building brands to go out there and tell people up front what it is about us that is different, why it matters, what those differences are, and why they should choose your brand. Now, for the coaches out there and the people who are building personal brand businesses, what's great is that the biggest differentiator in your company is you, right? A lot of people can help your audience with whatever problem it is that they need to solve. But what you bring to the table is your experiences, your perspective, and all of your own approaches that you've developed over time. And they are special because of you. So being able to explain that to people, I can see is complicated, right? I understand why that's a struggle. It's hard to pinpoint why your way is better than someone else's way of doing something. So that's what we're going to clarify today. But wanted to get to the core of why that's important, right? Because if you cannot explain to people in an easy to understand way what it is that makes you right for them, it's going to be hard for them to want to choose you. It's a very confusing space. So your job is to help them with that decision by developing this personal branding statement, by developing your brand positioning statement. And we'll go through the format of that coming up. But really quickly, let's talk about why this is so hard for people, right? The challenge with coming up with a brand positioning statement is the format of it makes you think that you need to explain to people what it is about you that's great. And what a lot of people lean into are the things that are pretty generic. They like to say that they are the best quality something or other, or they are the lowest cost something or other, or they have the best looking something or other, or they have the most effective something or other. And all of those statements are hard to believe because they are vague in general. And they sound like something anyone could say. And they don't come from anywhere of belief. They don't come from anywhere of believable differentiation. So what I'm going to offer to you today is a simple way to get there and a way to think about it that might help you frame this for yourself. But it is important that you come up with these things. And another challenge that people run into and kind of trying to come up with these things is they tend to run into the problem of explaining the benefits of a program instead of explaining the differences. Because what happens when you explain the benefits of a program is you start to create this laundry list of things that are all the outcomes and all the benefits and all the features of the thing that you've built without explaining what the difference is between that and someone else's program. And a lot of that's fear, right? Either you fear that you're going to pick the wrong thing in your list to just highlight as the one thing, or it's fear that if you just mention the one thing, it's not going to be enough to convince somebody, or it's fear that the thing that you've explained is your one thing is not ownable, that anyone could say that, right? I can see why that would be a fear you would have. Or it's a fear that you think that someone else does this better than you do. But if you don't pick that one thing, it's going to be hard to really isolate what makes you special. And you do have to hone in on it. So understand that that's difficult. Now, there's different ways to approach this, but what I think is you need to dive into who you are and take a good look at that and compare yourself to other people. Think about, what do you do well and what do other people do well? And why would you want to go with you versus someone else? What is that one thing that's different that you can own based on your experience, your history, and how you operate and your purpose and your mission and all those things? Bring all those to the table and say which one of those things is actually going to bring success to somebody. So here's some examples, because I know this is a little vague. So I'm going to get you into some specific examples, right? So in photography, right? Now, photographers, I love professional photographers. It's a space that I've invested in to make sure that, if you're building your personal brand, you should get professional photography, right? But it's very competitive in that a lot of people are professional photographers. And these days, they even have to compete with people that are taking pictures with their phones because the quality of phone photography has gotten so good. So when choosing a photographer, most people just pick one that they've been referred to by someone else, or that's local to them, that they find has good credentials, right? But if you're a photographer positioning yourself to people, you have to explain to them what it is that makes you different than other photographers. And what I think is important is you start by saying to yourself and framing it in your mind, something simple as this, right? Say this to yourself: anyone can take your photo. Anyone can be a photographer. Anyone can be a photographer for you. Anyone can be your photographer. However, if you want to take quality pictures that you can use for your business, the one thing that matters is that you pick a photographer and then you fill in the blank, right? So for this example, you might say, if you're a photographer that's great with lighting, right? You might want to say, the only thing that matters is that you pick a photographer that understands lighting, because lighting is going to be the difference between good pictures and bad pictures. And the ones that understand that and how to use that and how to put you in environments that have great lighting from top to bottom and understand that how to bring that out in the photos is going to make the difference between a great picture and a bad picture. And I, as a photographer, have spent so many years focusing my entire world around lighting and yada, 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 right? You have to fill those things in if that's what the difference is, right? And if you can bring to the table that that's what you focus on and that's what the difference is, that someone else who's a photographer could say, you can hire any photographer out there in the world and get good photos. If you want great photos, the only thing that matters is that you hire a photographer that understands what it's like to be a mom, right? If you're hiring someone who's like you in parent photos or whatever, you can say you want someone that understands how to take photos of families, that understands what it's like to have to get all four people to look good in the picture, that understands how to entertain the kids and to get them to, look good in a photo, and who understands how to get all four people smiling at the same time, right? Or how to pull the best types of poses out of family members that look natural and not awkward. And I've been photographing families for 10 years, and this is what my specialty is. If you see how that's different. If you can hone in on that thing that's special about you and bring that out as the important thing for a good or not good photo for your customer, it changes everything. I'll give you another example, and then I'll give you the template that you can use for developing for your business, right? Now, let's say you're a fitness trainer, right? Now, obviously, again, and I'm picking there's so many industries that are just overfilled with so many quality candidates, right? Marketing is one of them too, but let's stick with fitness, right? So in the fitness space, there are so many people out there that understand fitness and nutrition and know how to bring to the table the things that will help you get results, right? And if you're coming into this space, you have to figure out what it is that it's in your training that you think is the most important thing for them, but that is also something that you specialize in, that you focus on. And that thing has got to be the key to them having success and to them reaching their goals. And maybe that wouldn't be something that means success for one person, but it would for another. And that's what you're focusing on, right? Because it's supposed to be drawing them to you. So for you, your brand positioning statement has to do with finding that thing that's special about you and bringing in the right customers for you. So for a fitness instructor, let's say that their focus is on, and I've worked with someone whose focus was on longevity, right? In other words, this isn't about people who want the results overnight, that are looking for huge, massive muscle gains and, miracle, 100-pound weight drops. These are people who are looking to learn how to exercise for the rest of their life without breaking their bodies, right? And so that person might say, anyone can help you understand how to exercise. Anyone can coach you on how to be fit. Anyone can coach you on how to eat. If you want to be able to learn how to do that for the rest of your life and use exercises that will work for you even when you're old and your body starts to betray you, right? If you want to know the exercises that work over time without hurting your body as your body ages, you need to work with a trainer that teaches you these balanced routines that understand your muscles, right? And I'm the trainer that does that because I focus on, a mix of yoga and stretching and, muscle, whatever. Like you say you have this program, but and that is the reason that's important. The reason that you're better at that is because you've been focusing on this specific area for however many years and have specifically gotten results for these kinds of people. And it is your belief and your mission to make sure that people can work out for the rest of their lives, right? You have to tie those things together in a way that says this exact thing is what's going to make the difference for people who are looking for long-term fitness for the rest of their life. Versus someone else could say, I am someone who focuses on immediate results and big gains. And I want to make sure that you look your best and your strongest within the next 3 months. And we focus on, understanding your body and how to build your muscles quickly and whatever else. And I do that because I've worked with weightlifters in the most professional settings for the past 5 years. You can see how they're very different stories. Those stories come from your skills and your beliefs and apply to only certain people that are looking for that thing. And again, if you have to start with something that's going to help make this clear for you, I would start with the idea that anyone can help you lose weight, or anyone can help you get fit. If you want to get fit for the rest of your life, but if you want to, and you fill in the blank, right? But if you want to have this, the only thing that matters is, And you have to fill that in with what is really special about your program and you. So here's a template for you to come up with this statement for yourself. This is my brand positioning statement that you can fill in for any of your businesses out there. So start with your industry and start with the thing that people want to accomplish. And it'll say, in fitness, or when trying to lose weight, or when trying to accomplish this goal. Start with that. Think about what people are trying to accomplish and fill that in. And then move on to the next thing, which is your key statement, right? You can say, anyone can teach you to XYZ. The key is this. Lighting is the key. Nutrition is the key. Balanced exercise is the key. What is that thing? Fill it in. And then move on to the key to what? What is the thing that they're trying to solve? Balance is the key to achieve long-term sustainable fitness, or proper diet and routine is the key to massive muscle gains in a short period of time, or something else. For photography, lighting is the key to beautiful professional headshots, or comfort with your photographer, or understanding family dynamics and setting the mood is the most important thing for great family photos. You have to fill in those blanks. So again, we'll start with your industry. In photography, the most important thing is to achieving the result, and you have to fill in the result. Just those three things, fill in the blanks. Your industry, the one difference, if everything else was the same, the only thing that matters is, and then the third is what the outcome is. What is that success for that particular person? You fill those three things in, and you have a brand positioning statement that will help you separate yourself from the crowd, identify why you are the number one resource for the person who's looking to solve a problem. And it will help you gain confidence in how you explain yourself and how you find the words to tell people why they should choose you instead of the competition. That's the importance of your brand positioning statement. I hope you guys use some of these exercises today to continue to set yourself apart as a brand, to differentiate yourself, to find people that are the right people for you to continue to move forward and grow your business. Hope that helps you guys today. And that's all we got. So continue listening every week. I appreciate you guys, and we will catch you as always next time.
You've just taken your marketing knowledge to another level with this episode of Brands on Brands. But we have plenty more ways to help you build a brand that matters. Head over to brandsonbrands.com for resources, as well as access to our blogs, videos, and exclusive coaching sessions with your host. Be sure to visit brandsonbrands.com.